Time to get out on the mountain bike again. I'm here at Innerleithen at the Golfy Trails. I'm going to ride with Ross MacArthur again because we've both just been sent a pretty interesting new item. So the O-chain has been out for a while, and that's basically a system that isolates your chain from the suspension movement. Now, UK brand Rimpact have brought their own system to the market. Only they're not claiming it benefits the suspension performance, which it may do. They're claiming it dampens the chain, because no matter what bike you're riding, what suspension design you have, the chain is going to go wild. It's bouncing all over the place. I actually filmed a clip up here recently which kind of demonstrates that quite nicely. And supposedly every time that chain, which does have a decent amount of weight to it, goes to its extreme spikes, it affects your pedals. How true this is, I don't know, but I'm curious to find out. Now, I am a fan of Rimpact. I've used their tyre inserts for years, although I'm not actually using them on this bike at the minute. I don't want to be biased though. I am willing to give this chain dampener a good hiding if it doesn't work or if I don't notice anything. And I must admit, I've never really noticed any negative effects from chain spikes or my suspension platform, but who knows? Today I might just notice something is a little bit different. The bike's riding extra well. So yeah, today I'll try and put it to the test. I'll let you guys know how it feels, what I think of it. So Ross has one of these dampers as well. You're pretty excited about using it, eh?
Can't wait, man.
We were going to go ride Glencoe because it's super chunky up there, nice and steep. It would be a perfect place to try one of these, but it's the end of the season and the chairlifts have shut. So yeah, we're going to go ride Golfy because the flat white trail has actually just recently been opened and we're pretty keen to go try that, even though that might not actually be the best trail for testing this, but oh hey, we'll soon find out. My first impressions from opening the box was this thing has a bit of heft to it. It's a chunky unit, and Rimpact have actually done a slightly different thing to the O-chain in that the chainring is actually built into the system, and when it wears out you have to take it apart and swap the chainring that way. And I must admit, I took this system apart just to see how it looked inside, and getting it back together was an absolute nightmare. So perhaps O-chain have a little bit of an advantage where you can just use normal chain rings. But yeah, less talk, let's head up the hill and see how it feels. Okay, Ross and I have just done a short ride up the fire road to get to the new updated flat white trail. And first impressions of the damper is, well, it feels absolutely awful for climbing. You do get used to it and you do forget it's there, but you have to pedal much more in circles than I'm used to, which is probably a good training aid actually. But to me, it just feels like my cranks are loose. Like every time you get to the top, it's like clunk, clunk. But how will it feel down the trail? I think this is where things will get flipped 180, and I think it could feel potentially really nice. All right, flat white, first time it's been opened for a long time. Probably quite a smooth trail, so we won't be testing the suspension and these dampers too much, but we'll find some rough stuff in a minute. We just can't help ourselves.
Ready to drop on?
All right, let's do it.
Here we go.
Got my bike so much softer setup than I normally do. Even the tyres, super soft. Man, it's been so long I cannot remember this trail at all. Nice berms though. We saw the tree. Ross and I saw someone ride these trails who had a horrible crash, so I don't want to repeat that. But I almost feel my back tyre at least is way too soft for these. I'm getting a bit of tyre fold at the back. I was worried that might be the case. Definitely loose in here. But suspension feels mint, as it normally does. Don't know whether that's the dampener or just suspension. Oh, this is class though. It's a little scary though. Corners and berms. Oh, there goes my water bottle. Corners and berms are just like my Achilles heel a little bit. And there's a lot of them on here. Oh, that was sketchy. Proper dead sailor. wild. Oh. Tried to cut that a little bit. Oh man, we'll get these doubles at another date. Literally riding this blind at the minute. Yeah, Ross. Nice.
Warm up lap.
Warm up. Oh man, that was class. That was so cool. Definitely feel like harder tire pressures would be good for that.
You think
Oh man, that is.
Is that holding you back a bit?
Yeah, definitely getting a lot of squirm. Well, what did you think of the Rimpact?
I definitely noticed it as soon as we dropped in. See that chatter just before you come to the first berm? Almost kind of cancelled it out. I was expecting, because of running the slightly heavier coil, that my feet were going to be getting like, bounced off the pedals, but it definitely calmed whatever was happening.
So I'm going to say that felt smooth, but I can't say for definite that that was the damper because my tyres are just so soft. It might just be that, but that felt really smooth. Also, it was a smooth trail.
Yeah.
Wasn't too much chatter in it.
True.
So Ross and I have stopped to do something we don't normally do, and that's just get some social media clips going down the trail rather than just POV stuff all the time. Ross is hiding just behind a tree there. I'm about to try something. No idea whether it will work or not, but we'll give it a try. All right, if I get this first try, I'll be surprised. Definitely no speed records doing that, but does it look good? All right, take two. Yeah, guys, looking good.
Laugh it.
Yeah, whoever has gone and maintained flat white, nicely done. Fair play. I thought that was like a quarter pipe. I've got...
You got enough blood in your Rimpact there?
I know. Nice.
Find your bottle, Ali.
Found the water bottle.
Just right there. Find your bog water.
Do a swap. Nice one. What did they say about not stopping in the middle of the trail, Ross?
You get my media.
That is pretty scenic, to be fair. Right, we've hit a few corners. Now we're going to go down and see if we can hit some of these jumps that we skipped last time. Right. That bit's harder than I thought, actually. It's actually really cool to stop and session bits of the trail. I've done the jump, I've done the berm, and after the berm, there's a triple. Apparently Reece Wilson's done it. I'm not attempting that. I'm attempting just the double. I kind of cased it last time. This time, if I can get the berm quicker, should hopefully be able to do it. Goggles are kind of fogged up a bit. Better than before, but not perfect. No way I'm getting that triple. Tell you what, if you do actually session bits of the trail, you end up getting better at it. Who would have thought? Ross and I have just had a pretty cool sesh doing this jump, hitting some berms, but we're going to head down properly this time and then go find some chunky, rooty trails to test these chain dampers, because I don't think this one has been the best test yet, but it's definitely been good fun. That triple. Some proper schlalps in there. I do like the, oh, I forgot about that one. Oh, this bottom bit of this trail is so nice. Yo. Yeah, that flat white is sick. Because the clocks have changed, we've only really got time for one more trail today, and we are going to go down second base. I've ridden this before and I really enjoyed it. The only thing is, I think it's going to be pretty dark in these woods, so how much you're going to be able to see, I don't know. If this video isn't long enough, I'm going to have to come out and do it again, but yeah, it's always hard to tell how much you've actually filmed. So once we're ready, we'll send it, and hopefully this one's a little bit chunkier, so we might, you know, feel a little bit more of an effect of these chain dampers. But we'll soon find out. Slick roots. Yeah, it's dark in here. Classic. Oh, I'll tell you what, first impressions on route, I'd say this does feel does feel a little bit smooth. Right, keep more distance perhaps. It's been a while since I've ridden this one. I'll try and remember it. It's kind of like flat white. Oh, then, yeah, it gets steep in here. What was that? But I did really enjoy this one when we last came down it. Oh, I messed that one up. Yo, Russ. Yeah. That is so steep. Man, those steps are bigger than I remember. Whoa, that was horrible. Just wait here for us. I forgot how extreme that one was.
That's gnarly.
That is a gnarly one, isn't it? I forgot how big those steps are. Whew. Did you notice your chain dampener?
Well, I think because I was so focused on how diagonal the roots were, my mind was off it a wee bit, but once it started getting chunky, it's almost as if you're not thinking about it, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
It speeds, I definitely notice it more at speeds.
Yeah.
Where it's like braking bumps, it just like smooths out all the braking bumps.
I guess that makes sense because that's when your chain would mostly be going absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
Normally at the end of a test video, I give my thoughts and a bit of a conclusion, but I'm not going to do that this time just because I need more time to get some thoughts on it. I do have a few things I want to say before this video finishes though. Firstly, I mentioned at the start of the video how much trouble I had getting this thing back together. Now, I foolishly didn't check Rimpact's website, and of course they have a guide on how to get this thing back together. Now, I did get it back together correctly, and I know this because Ross has an unopened unit and they feel identical, but I think it would have saved me some bother if I'd watched that video while trying to do it myself. The other thing I want to mention is the actual chain movement itself. Now, they call this a chain damper, and you'd think that would just mute the chain and keep it steady, but that's not what Rimpact claim. The chain is going to move about no matter what chainring you got, no matter what suspension you've got. This system is just to stop the energy from those spikes going into your pedals. The other quick thing I want to mention, which you may not have thought about, is just how thick this chainring is and some clearance issues. I actually had to file down the heads of the bolts for my bash guard just by the smallest amount, but I still had to do that, so just bear that in mind. I'm going to continue using this damper, but I'm also going to swap between a normal chainring as well, so in the future I'll have a bit more of a conclusion. But until then, I hope this video was somewhat educational and entertaining. Huge thanks, of course, to Rimpact for sending me 2 units, one for me and one for Ross. Have an amazing week, and I'll catch you next time. Take care, bye-bye.